Yo, what is happening, 2K family? 2K Mechanic back in the building. And in today's video, we're going to review NBA 2K24 builder news from Uncle Demi in the community. Uncle Demi is, I believe, the head of the Next Makers program in conjunction with 2K. So shout out to him for getting that achievement, and I know he's worked pretty hard for that, so shout out. He's been under fire a little bit, right, for some of his comments and what he's been saying and trying to advocate on the side of 2K24. But you know what I mean, he, like me, he does a lot of build videos and puts a lot of content out. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, y'all, let's like up the video, subscribe if you're new. Trying to go hard on this 2K24 content stuff for you guys, so let me know if you guys appreciate that by hitting that like button. All right, so I am going to be starting and stopping a lot in the video because he's talking about the MyPlayer builder, which is important for my channel since we kind of do the same thing. So I will chime in on what he's talking about and give my 2 cents in between those words. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all.
Man, I've been leaning on my man Mike, man. Shout out to Mike Wayne. He was going crazy with the information.
Yeah, Mike has been going crazy.
One of the tweets he did, it was actually replies. So my man 2K Day said, at Baluba, what's the sweet spot in your opinion on ball handle and speed with ball? What ratings will unlock the top tier animations? Okay.
Now, my thoughts on this when we say top tier animations, right? So Steph Curry animation is good because of the Curry slide, right? The problem I have with setting certain unlock requirements is those unlock requirements are only there because of previous iterations of the game. That does not mean that these are going to be the best animations, y'all, right? Especially now that they're adding pro play and you're getting over an additional 150 animations added to the game, and who knows if they're going to do even more season by season. So I just want to kind of point that out.
Baluba replied, I really like Steph and Trey moves, so I usually go 92. Now he's saying 92, he's talking about ball handle. And then he said the highest unlock is Steve Francis, which is the sig size up at 95. So as you can see, Steve Francis, which is one of the best dribble sigs, is now going to be at 95. It looks like Trae Young and Steph Curry is still going to be at a 92. But what that means is that obviously the Steve Francis size up, remember now with pro play, things are different. Right. Obviously, is going to be the best size up.
Again, we don't know that. I know Uncle Demi is saying it's going to be the best size up. If it is the best size up, then 2K is doing a disservice, right? It can't be the best size up 2 years in a row, 2 or 3 years in a row. I don't even remember 2K20. Was it D Rose? Was it D Rose and Steve Francis in 22? Y'all remind me. I don't remember because I didn't really play 21 like that, so I don't know. I don't know if it's. I know Steve Francis and D Rose has probably been the past 2 years. Steve Francis this year for sure. But if it's still the same, y'all, that means 2K, they're not doing no work. But then again, like I said, we don't know. We're getting way more animations this year, so we don't know. And you might want to hold out putting that high of a requirement on your build if we don't know what the other animations are able to do.
Right? And I spoke about this before in my other videos, and I kept saying, I was like, yo, because, okay, play this. A lot of people know I played the game, okay? So I have played NBA 2K24, and I was able to put input in that. But a lot of people also get it misconstrued to think that, I've seen.
I don't think I want to go over his whole video. Let's skip a little bit. I don't want to go over his whole video, right? You guys probably need to go to his channel and watch his whole video, because as a creator, if I put out the time and do a whole video, I wouldn't want somebody else showing my whole video. So let's kind of maybe go through some highlights and stuff that he says in this video.
You just use common sense. You know what's broken in 23. You expect it to be fixed in 24. Okay?
I think he's talking about the builder
that is
stuff.
Automatically, just by seeing that alone, I automatically know that the speed with ball is going to matter. And obviously, the best dribble style is going to be the highest rated, like off rip.
Again, like I said, we don't know that, y'all. We don't know what the best animations is. And if we know what the best animations is off the rip, then what did 2K improve, right? So we have more animations. We have more dribble styles, supposedly, right? And we have more pro play and stuff like that, right? Which should give us a ton of animations to choose from. So how do we know that certain animations are going to be good? Just like long athlete, y'all. Long athlete, for instance, was in 2K20 and 2K21, I believe 2K20, 2K21, the best hop step animation, current gen or previous gen or whatever, right? It was the best layup package, right? Primarily because it gave you such a big hop in 2K20. So, like I said, how do we know it's still good? Like you had to the requirement, you had to have like an 87 layup to get long athlete, and you don't even need long athlete in this game. There were other animations to choose from. So I just want to make y'all aware of that, y'all. Let's keep going.
I know that if Steve Francis is a 95, and if Michael Jordan dribble style is the highest one, then maybe your speed with balls gonna have to be in the high 90s now.
But I do agree with him that speed with ball needs to matter more. Like when they took quick first step away from speed with ball and put it with ball handle, I think that was a bad move, because then it made it not matter as much, right?
Which is going to be crazy, because if you want to get Steve Francis, that means you're going to have like a 95 ball handle and then like a 90-something speed with ball, which how it should be to get the best sigs, right?
Yeah, but like I said, we don't know what the best sigs are. Like, De'Aaron Fox is one of the best sigs, right? And you only need an 80, especially for tall players, but you only need an 80 ball handle to get De'Aaron Fox. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know.
But now that balances out the builder. When you have to make sacrifices, right?
I agree, sacrifices do make a balance.
Get a balanced builder. When you have to sit there and think, like, yo, like, you know, if I want to get...
I agree with him, but the animation is what... The animations, right? The animations determine how you make your build. Which the animations that we deem is good and allows us to move like we want to move, that gives us the best advantage, that determines how you make your build. Not necessarily always the restrictions. And then also the second part is, you know, do those attributes and stuff really matter? So if the attributes don't really matter and people can find a workaround, then, you know, it's not necessarily the builder. It is what you have access to, and what you can sacrifice on in the building.
The best, you know, dribble style to be able to explode out of my I'm out of my dribbles, and I gotta get, you know, this again. I'm just going on 23. I do not know what 24 best is going to be, so I'm gonna say Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Beforehand, you didn't have to sacrifice. You can make it 6'9". You didn't have to go high on your speed with ball. You was able to go 75, and then that's instead of going 75 to 90. Just listen, from 75 speed ball to 90 speed ball in NBA2K24 builder.
I mean, he's right. Let's move. Let's see what else he's talking about.
We all know in 23, not having any passing style equipped was actually the best based upon 2K Labs and stuff. But the next best one was LeBron James. So now I'm saying, like, all right, cool. LeBron James, if you want to get LeBron James, you know, ain't none of that 75. You probably got to have like an 85, a 90, maybe a 90. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the problem with passing styles is passing styles gives you some passes that you want, while also including certain pass animations you don't want, right? Certain pass animations you don't want. So, and then LeBron James shouldn't be at 85 because you know, the animation, like, if I got a requirement, like, the animation's got to hit, right? The animation's got to hit. If the animations don't hit, then I'm not getting it. Like, Steph Curry was at 80, but nobody used Steph Curry because Steph Curry had this little wonky pass, finicky pass, overhand pass. He had too many of those wonky animations in his package, so nobody used it, right? Same thing with LaMelo. LaMelo was nice, but it had some things in it that, you know, we didn't like. That's why people didn't use LaMelo. That's why most people use none or LeBron, right? And that's because there's no differentiation in the animations. They're just copied animations. There's no this got faster passes, or it's cosmetic, right? Some of them have fast passes, but some of them have some really wonky stuff. So people wanted to eliminate the wonky stuff, so they didn't use those pass styles.
That's how it should be. The best SIGs, again, like I'm saying, the best SIGs should be the highest rated, okay?
Yeah, but you don't know what the best is until people get their hands on the game. That's the issue, right? So do we want them changing SIG? Do we want them changing animation requirements after we got the game and we make our builds? I don't know. I think the people would like that.
Okay, let's keep it moving, okay? Let's talk about, let's go 3-point shooting, 99, okay? So that was actually pretty straight. Nah, so that's actually not a good one. Let's think about, dunks, dunk animations, quick drops was an 80, but now it's gone. It's no longer in the game. All right, so that's something that's gonna be huge. But what are some of the other dunk packages that were really OP? You know what I'm saying? We all know Russell Westbrook was one.
Yeah, Westbrook been in there though.
The league players know what I'm talking about.
Westbrook's been in there. Westbrook has been OP for a long time, right? In my opinion, y'all, it wasn't necessarily just the limitless takeoff. Like the badge that's really OP that nobody really talks about is Slithery. Slithery causes people to be there, but the game not register you there. That's how bad Slithery is. Like you can slide past people with Slithery, right? That's what made it so OP. It is you taking off a little bit further with certain dunk animations, and people that's in contact with you get bypassed. That's the problem, in my opinion, that we have. Not always just the dunks. The speed of the dunks was a little OP, and how far you could take off was a little OP. Maybe they should have. And I remember in 22, I think you had to have like a pretty high dunk, right, to get even gold limitless takeoff. I might be misconstruing it, but I thought you had to have like a 90 something to get limitless gold or something like that to have access to some of those. But I might be wrong, but it's the badges in conjunction, y'all. That Slithery badge was OP this year, right? Try to dunk if you wasn't fast enough without Slithery. Like you could get took out of your animations easily without Slithery. But if you had a 6'9", Slithery was like a tier 2 badge, so that made it OP.
And Clyde Drexler, everybody used Clyde Drexler.
Yeah.
That was another good one. Just straight arms to the basket was really good one. So then you expect higher. You know what I mean? Because then that will allow, like, let's say, for instance, you got to have like a 90 something now to be able to get these dunk packages. But instead of just only have to have a 85, maybe you have to start pushing in the 90s to get that. Another
90s is wild though. Maybe maybe LeBron. Okay, LeBron Westbrook, you put that in the 90s. All right, let's put LeBron Westbrook in the 90s. Everything else is kind of mid. Like maybe put Michael Jordan in the 90s as well. But everything else is kind of mid. So those dunks are really spectacular dunks by spectacular dunkers. So maybe you want to put that in the high 90s, but everything else you can keep the same.
Thing, contact dunks, maybe that should be higher now. Instead of being, an 85, maybe it's higher. And
we're going too far now, Demi. Like, the dunk meter, it's very tough to use. Like, not too many people use a dunk meter. Even looking at what people say on Twitter, disregard what people say on Twitter. When you play the game, not that many people use a dunk meter. And then where we are in the gaming cycle, the dunk meter is not that good. I mean, it's not that good because you can hit shots that are early and late. Like at the first 3 months of the year, first 3 months of the game cycle, if you were not greening your dunks, you were slightly early, slightly late, you were missing those dunks. Guaranteed, you were missing those dunks, and that's how it should be. But yeah, I don't know when we start getting these super high for certain packages. Yeah, but I don't think all dunks should be kind of high. And contact dunks at 85, 86 is 85, 86 is more than enough. It's more than enough. All right, let's see what else Demi talking about.
I know, like off rip on the surface, said when you go away from pie charts and you're in a freeform builder that we've been for the past couple of years,
you still talking about pie charts?
You have to make it to where sacrifices have to be made. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, no, And I seen the comments, and I see a lot of people talk about like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have a role player. I want to have Michael Jordan, and that's great. But I mean, I make a Michael Jordan build. Like again, 2K20, I made a Michael Jordan build based upon the pie chart, and it was still great, right? But at the same time, you do want to see different builds out there on the court.
Do we want to see different builds, or do we want to see different play styles? My thoughts is we see different builds are just different builds. But if everybody play the same, it don't matter. You see what I'm saying? I don't really care about different builds. I just, I don't really care, period. But I think the community wants to see different play styles instead of the same thing over and over, because certain badges and certain mechanics allow for a certain type of build to be overpowered compared to the rest of the builds. So I just, food for thought. Do we want to see different builds, or do we want to see more so different play styles?
Again, this is my opinion. That does not mean it's right, because you're investing your money in that and whatever, that's cool. But again, like I say, I just feel like having a balanced builder is always going to be the best.
Another thing that I struggle with and have I'm always questioning is when we say balance, things like balance, fair, right? To me, stuff like that don't exist. Two people can have the same build and get two totally different outcomes from different builds, right? That is the beauty of 2K, and that's the beauty of the builder. So is the balance based in the skill, or is it based in what you can do with each particular build? All right, I'm in the mindset also that I know a lot of people think most people had the same builds. I think people had similar builds, but I think if you player card everybody if you player card 20 people, each build will be different. Some people like to shoot the midi. Some people are good at shooting the three. Some people like to slash. They might have builds that could do both, but what are they actually good at? That's why I say play styles matter. Like, what are you actually good at? So things like that kind of matter to me a little bit more than some of the other stuff, in my opinion.
Best outcome for the community in a whole. A lot of people keep leaning
But
on
he is
2K20.
right, though.
It's just not me. I feel like 2K20 has been the best 2K we've had since. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And when it comes to, especially with the builds and stuff, I do not think we should have pie charts, obviously. So, hopefully 2K24 is not a pie chart type thing.
Okay.
But if it's still free-forming, hopefully it's something that still will allow you to make sacrifices. If anything you get out of this video, just remember that.
All right, I'm not going to do the whole video, but I agree with that. But the sacrifices depend on how the animations in the game play out. What advantages do you get with the animations? So that determines what build you. Like a person like me, I'm gonna figure out as I play the game. I'm gonna figure out which animations is advantageous for me, which animations kind of make you quick, which animations allow you to move from one move to another seamlessly, right? That's our job as players, right? And if the requirement is low, like for instance, one of the better in this 2K23, and then we're gonna wrap it up. One of the better animations that people didn't really use but was really good, was a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was good. I think you need a 65 ball handle to get the Kawhi Leonard dribble style or size up, right? And then the other one was Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs was a really slept on. I don't know if it was size up escape or one of those tiers, but I think you'll need like a 70, 75 ball handle to get that. You see what I'm saying? So there are good ones there that you can use, right? That people just didn't need to use because they were able to make certain builds. So, keep your eyes open. There's going to be a lot to test and a lot of things to try, and don't take everything as gospel. We're all speculating at this point. So, right now we just can't wait to get our hands on the builder and see some of the first news. I don't know if we get it this week or next week, but stay tuned to that, y'all. 2K Mechanics signing out, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace, y'all.